What's up, Elden Ring fans? We are at the Halig tree, and we are after the Evnoys Great Horn, which I've just been shot by Mr. Marshmallow Man behind me. So anyway, this is the moment where I actually get the Great Horn. We have to farm it. We can't pick it up anywhere. That's the bummer. It's got about a 2% drop rate. So we've got 3 that we can farm. I'm going to show you my run. I managed to get all 3 giant Evnoys in my run. It has to be the giant ones. It can't be like the small or medium-sized ones for the Great Horn. So this place is dangerous, so I'm going to give you a few pointers on the sort of health and safety, if you like, of the area to try and minimise the damage as best you can. I like to leave from here the second bonfire, or site of grace if you prefer, at the Halig tree. Head straight up here and up the ladder. The gear that I'm going to use for this is kind of important because you probably noticed you can die in like 2 hits. So this, the talisman +2, Halig tree, Pale Drake talisman +1. In my Wondrous Physic flask, I've got the Opaline hard tier and the Opaline bubble tier to try and reduce damage a little bit. Obviously for farming, I've got the silver foot and the silver scarab on the talisman. And then in your 4th slot, it won't really matter what you have. So 2 for defense, 1 for farming, and obviously the crow's foot as well, the silver one, just for a little added, a little extra. It won't hurt. Now, Lord's Divine Fortification, that is for the damage that the gigantic bubble gun, if you like, all the bubbles that are coming at you from the Evnoys Great Horn, it helps reduce that, and you're going to see that in a second. Now, normally, probably about 2 hits and my health bar would be like completely gone, but look at that. You've got a significant damage reduction right there. This little part here, you can actually have a little break. Use Flame Cleanse Me, never leave home without it, Faith Builds. And then hop down here. Now some of you would probably just go straight up the tree and take out the big one that I actually just got the drop from a moment ago. But I preferred this little run because A, I had the flask running, right? So I wanted to get the larger grouping. We have two giant Evnoys, if you like, up this way, whereas we only have 1 after all the ants and stuff, so we'll get him after. Now notice I'm kind of sticking to the left here because we don't really want to bother the angry plant that's behind us, but we're quite safe on this branch, so you can kind of take a little break here, maybe heal up, use the fortification again, Lord's Divine Fortification, and then we are ready to take out the first Evnoy. So fortunately, the first giant Evnoy is actually on his own, which is helpful. I haven't had a chance to actually test out the Great Horn yet. I mean, he does some fucking damage with it, but whether it'll be as useful for us, I don't know. But the recent patch, a lot of the strength weapons and colossal weapons actually did get a bit of a buff, and they sped up the recovery time, that kind of thing. So if ever there was a time to maybe think about doing a strength build or do a little bit of experimentation with colossal weapons, now would probably be quite a good time to do it, actually. So I'm probably going to run some of my own tests in the future. I mean, probably not, I might not film them, but I'm going to be playing about with it anyway. Don't judge my character, by the way. I know he is disgustingly overpowered, but by the time I got the Platinum Trophy, I think I wasn't even level 200 yet. So this character is pretty much just for running experiments and a little bit of co-op here and there now. So in this second grouping, we have just the medium-sized Evnoys, we have the smaller ones, and then we've got 1 other large one. So just to show you that I didn't just use the relic sword, in case you're thinking, oh, I don't have that. You know, the blasphemous blade is quite good, but see that guy on the left there, the medium one, he fell off, which could be a little bit of a bummer, because he drops the Longhorn, which I am definitely a fan of that. The Longhorn is awesome. I used that for a significant part of the game. So just be careful if you are having to use like the Blasphemous Blade or whatever your secondary weapon is, if you don't have the Relic Sword, whatever you're using. Anyway, back down the tree. Obviously on your first run you're going to want to grab that bit of treasure. Then we just head straight down here, and then we're just going back the way we came earlier on, straight up here, to get the very last one. So apologies about the graphics, by the way. You might have noticed that they're looking a bit rubbish. I accidentally filmed this all on the old console by mistake. I was just happened to be that was the one I was playing on. Then I recorded this after. Took me probably about an hour and a half. Like I said, on the wiki it tells you it's about a 2% drop rate. I'd say 2% is probably fair. It took me about 15 or 16 rounds of farming. So, say 15 rounds of farming, you get 3 Giant Envoys at a time. So 15 times 3, 45, maybe it took 16, so 48. 48 actual Envoys you have to kill. Which kind of leans into why I went on the path I actually did take. I kind of figured that killing all the bottom Envoys, you know, all the groupings and that kind of stuff, I was hoping that I wouldn't actually have to come up here that often. Plus I was thinking about time as well, because you know how I like to pop the little crow's foot? Well, that's on a timer, whereas, you know, the silver scarab isn't. So I was kind of thinking, if it wears off by the time I get up here, then at least I've been able to kill 2 giant ones, and then maybe I'll get a drop. But obviously I didn't, and I did have to come up here, and it just so happened that this was the guy that actually did drop it for me. Not on this particular round, obviously, but the round that you've seen earlier on. Anyway, good luck farming this. It takes a while. I hope it's good. I'm anxious to try it out myself. And I'll see you in the next video, folks. Ciao for now.